I'm still riding high off this Super Bowl win, and I've been doing some digging around looking at old clips. This is my last one from this last season, and then I'm moving on. I promise you guys. It just feels good looking back at these old clips and segments and seeing these bad takes after we won the Super Bowl in our, quote, rebuilding year, unquote. I remember watching this segment before the Bills vs. Chiefs Week 6 matchup, and Acho claimed that the Bills were better than or equal to the Chiefs at every position except tight end. Once again, he disrespected us in the same manner as he did when he gave his Eagles Super Bowl prediction. And Shady is right there, loving every minute of it, hyping him up like he did right before the Super Bowl. Acho claimed Mahomes and Josh Allen were equal, even though Mahomes' resume is loaded. And talent-wise, I just think Mahomes is just a much better football player and quarterback. Even at that point in the season, Mahomes had been to 4 straight AFC Championship games. 4 straight. Won League MVP, Super Bowl MVP, and a Super Bowl. He had been statistically better than Allen, and it wasn't even close. Take a listen to Acho's insane takes as he claims that the Bills were better than or equal to the Chiefs at every position except tight end. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, like my video, and subscribe.
I smiled when I saw the Vegas spread come out. Yeah. I smiled because I was like, I know the Bills are better, and I'm glad to know I'm in line with Vegas. I'm not always in line with Vegas. Lost a lot of money in Vegas in my time. But when I seen that, I said, yeah, they should be favored. This is how it should go. The Bills are the better team at literally every position except for tight end. The Chiefs are not better at any position. They're equal.
What'd you say?
He said what he said.
Did you say what he said?
At every position except tight end.
Okay. So they're better at quarterback?
Let's get hot. Okay, let me rephrase. The Chiefs are not worse at any position except for tight end.
You mean the Bills?
Bills.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
My dog. Right. The Bills are not worse at any position except for tight end. Quarterback, equal. Wide receiver, Bills. Running game, Bills. Offensive line, Bills. Defensive line, Bills. Defensive backs, Bills.
The Bills are better in the running game?
Yeah, because they're both terrible in the running game.
That's like a rap. The Chiefs have not been bad at the running game.
I think the Chiefs have a little better in the running game. The last couple weeks I've been watching.
Their second leading rusher was Patrick Mahomes last week. I'm just not intimidated if Patrick Mahomes is their second leading rusher at 28 yards and Jerick McKinnon your leading rusher at 53 yards. But let me go to you, leading rusher on the show. Are the Chiefs being disrespected?
By the way, that was a nice little bars. Bills. Sorry. I'm going to say no. I don't feel disrespected. I think that the Bills collectively are a better team, a better unit. Although I think at home, the Chiefs can get a win. They can win that game.
Anything can happen.
I just think that when you look at the lines and the spreads and who's everybody's favorite, let's think about it for a second. The NFL, or not the NFL, but Vegas. Mm-hmm. Vegas is probably always right, majority of the time. They have Josh Allen picked to be the MVP of the league. They have the Bills to win the Super Bowl.
Talk about it.
So they are the favorite. So I get it. I understand it. Now, I do think that Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, they can win that game.
Of course.
But if you look at disrespect, I don't think it's disrespect.
No disrespect. Joy, where you at?
Bills.
Get them, Doc.
Bills. Yeah, they're definitely being disrespected. And if nothing else, I think the Kansas City fans are being disrespected.
I'll give you that.
Interesting.
I'll give you that. It's a good take.
Kingdom.
Casey,
it's a good take.
I would make it a little extra spicy this weekend for the Bills if I was a Kansas City fan. You saw what happened with that bad call. Mm-hmm. They were relentless off of that call with Chris Jones.
Oh, yeah,
so aside from Andy Reid and Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes and the running game and the wide receivers and the offensive line and the defensive line and the kickers and everybody being disrespected, I would say Kansas City fans and that home field advantage is being disrespected. We all know the Bills are a great team. This is a great matchup. This is going to be a game, a must-watch game. Everyone wants to see, this is going to be a constant measuring contest for the rest of their careers, one that Patrick Mahomes is winning in every single category, but that's not here nor there. This is a big matchup. But for Kansas City to be a dog at home after that win, let's not react too much to the Bills wiping the Pittsburgh Steelers with Kenny's first start with their defense messed up. No, I'm not doing all that. In fact, I feel very confident that the Chiefs are going to cover that spread. Very confident.
Talk about what's at stake for Allen, what he has to prove. He got to get himself a dub, obviously. You got to win. But truth be told, and I can't wait to hear what y'all have to say about this, I don't think Josh Allen has anything to prove on Sunday. Reason being 2-5, well, Josh Allen got to beat Patrick Mahomes. For all intents and purposes, My dog did everything he could to in the playoffs. Okay, well, everything he could, Acho, that doesn't count. Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Regular season, 13 seconds. Hey, defense, 13 seconds. We got a lead. Don't blow it. Defense blows it. Overtime, Josh Allen never touched the ball.
That's true.
Patrick Mahomes wins. So I can't sit here and say, well, Josh Allen has never beat Patrick Mahomes. He waxed the floor with them 38-20 last year, week 5. So I don't even think that Josh Allen has to prove that he can beat Patrick Mahomes because he literally did last year in the regular season and he figuratively did last year in the playoffs. Where do you stand? What's Allen got to prove?
I disagree with you. He has a lot to prove. I think Josh Allen has a lot to prove this game. First of all, it's a respect thing. So we can competitors. Josh Allen's I played with him. He's a competitor. And so is Patrick Mahomes. When you argue quarterbacks, it's either championships and wins. Mm-hmm. Every time Brady plays, Brady and Rodgers play, they bring up the one-on-one head matchup. Yep. That's what you do. So they're both young quarterbacks. They're going to be going for a long time at each other. He needs a win because, first of all, everybody wants to give that torch and that crown to Josh Allen. But you can't do it unless you beat him.
That's real.
You didn't beat him yet. So and before you get a championship, before you beat him, you got to earn that respect. And respect is beating him on Sunday. And then when we get to the championship, got to beat him again.
Where you at, Joy Taylor?
I don't need to have a figurative argument about Josh Allen. There probably aren't two peers that are more comparable in the league right now than Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen.
That's right.
Mahomes has 68 starts. Josh Allen has 65 starts. Let's just measure their resumes, shall we? What do we have for Josh Allen and what do we have for Patrick Mahomes? Do we all know? We already know. Super Bowl, another trip, MVP.
Yep.
I mean, what are we talking about here? Beating him 3-1 during the regular season matchups, 2-0 in the playoffs. We have these amazing things that we can use to measure things in sports. So we don't have to have figurative arguments. There are wins and losses, Super Bowls, MVPs, and statistics. Because when you play head-to-head matchups, what matters? Mm-hmm. Wins and losses.
That's true.
So you can say he outplayed or whatever. At the end of the day, you didn't do enough. And that dude is really like that because he only needs 13 seconds to win a game. And the rules are the rules. If you don't get to touch the ball in the overtime, you had a whole regular game to win it and you didn't get it done. True. That's just how it goes. We can't be morphing the rules like, well, if they had it, maybe they wouldn't have. We will never know because that's not how the game is played. So to me, it's not, and it's no disrespect to Josh Allen, but he's not on Patrick Mahomes' level yet. He's not. You have to have the resume. He's got the hardware, and we can measure our careers almost simultaneously. We have almost the same amount of experience in the league, 68 to 65. You need just 3 extra games to get to the Super Bowl and win an MVP? Yeah. Like, they are almost the most perfect 2 individuals to measure against. It's almost remarkable that we have this conversation because he's accomplished so much more.
Shady, let me come back to you because you played with them too, and I think athletes have a different perspective from what we just heard. You know that Patrick Mahomes is like that.
Patrick Mahomes is like that.
You know that Josh Allen is like that.
Josh is like that.
You played with them both. You played in both organizations.
Yeah.
You know Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen went to completely different situations.
They did.
Do you think they're on different levels? Or do you look at them and you're like, because I know a month and change ago, you said Josh Allen was better. Last week, you said Patrick Mahomes is better. So clearly you fluctuated.
No. I said that Josh was playing better.
Okay.
He's playing better. But if I had to pick a quarterback, like Joey talked about, you got to go resume, right? Mm-hmm. So I would think that Patrick Mahomes' numbers is better, his resume is better, championship MVP. That counts. That matters, right? So if I had to pick one, right now it's Patrick Mahomes, right? But what I'll say this, are they on the same level? Yes, they are. One is better because of his resume, but they're on the same level. They're doing the same for the team. They're winning games. I mean, we watched Josh Allen like he looked like he's that dude. We watched Patrick Mahomes he looked like he's that dude. So they both were them guys. They both have big arms. They're both accurate. Only thing about, I think, Josh Allen is Patrick Mahomes had a bigger advantage. One, you come into Andy Reid, right? I don't know too many.
The ultimate advantage.
I don't know so many quarterbacks that don't do well with Andy Reid. I mean,
that's the point.
You see what I'm saying? And then he waited a year to really learn. I believe that's big for a quarterback. They sit there and learn in the classroom and et cetera. Where Josh Allen had to go out there at the games and play. And then his quarterback, he had to watch. Because of my teammates, I don't ever bash my teammates. But I didn't say his name. But anyway, it was bad to watch. So when you say the 28 or 68 games to 65 games, I get it. But some of them games was like, where Pat had a clean slate to come in there and do his thing.
So is Josh Allen better because he has a better coach and better players around him now?
He had a better beginning.
Because Patrick Mahomes is better because he had a better coach and players around him.
What I'm saying,
if they're the same player...
Let me answer your question real quick. Yes, he had a better coach and way more pieces around him when he became in the league, right?
Right.
When I was there with Josh, It was just me.
Okay, right. But so Josh Allen is in a better situation now.
I said, Sean McDermott, I said, listen, I had an argument. I said, look, you drafted this rookie quarterback, right? So are we rebuilding? We have no other players. You brought in Kelvin Benjamin as the number one receiver, and you let go Sammy Watkins. I'm like, what are we doing here? How are we going to win? Now, if you go to the Kansas City Chiefs, you know that roster. I don't even want to tell you, that roster. So that does play.
That plays a factor. I'm not arguing that it doesn't. I'm just saying Patrick Mahomes gets penalized how much?
No, not penalized. No. But I'm saying it matters, though.
Okay, so then, when does it then become even? Because
even now.
We have the privilege or the advantage, right? He started up here, Josh Allen started back here. So when does Josh Allen catch up?
It's even now. When Stephon Diggs showed up, I think now it's fair ball game.
Fair ball game.
You got all-pro wide receivers. You got all-pro wide receivers.
Especially because Hill left. Yeah.
Correct. Since Stephon Diggs showed up, Josh Allen, second in the MVP race to Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. Josh Allen went and lost to the Chiefs by 13 seconds. Since he showed up, that's where I think it's parallel. Dave, take us home.
Well, so here's, no offense, this is all irrelevant to me, and it's why I don't.
Why?
Because it's why I do not envy Josh Allen. Because this almost doesn't matter. Because nothing Josh Allen does is going to matter until he gets over the hump in January.
That's true.
It's just true. If they win this game 42-17, what are we going to say? We're going to say, cool, you done it before. See you in January. It'll probably be at Arrowhead. And until he does that, it just straight up doesn't matter. His contract's going to get bigger. The cap hit gets bigger. It's going to be harder to keep this team together. The Bills are famous for being 0-4 in Super Bowls. This more than any other team in the league, this is their year. The Bills are the type of team where you're gauging style points and how they win. You know what I mean? That's how you know you're good when it's you won, but it was only by 7. Yeah.
Right.
This is their year, and if they don't do it, I do not want to be Josh Allen.
They don't do it. I'm jumping on Joy's side.
Tough.
What?
If they don't do it this year, I'm on your side.
Is clearly unequivocally better.
Right.
The best thing Patrick Mahomes could have done, winning it early and getting it out of the way, because we're never going to question this guy. I'm not saying it was easy, Joy. I'm not saying it was easy. I'm just saying it's the best thing that can happen to your career is if you pull it off early. Get it out of the way before you get expensive, before the cap comes into play. That's not going to be the case for Josh Allen if he doesn't win it this year. And that they could win this game 100-0, and I would still be wake me up in January.